you want to use per hand.
Right. And are going to be automatically shuffled. When you see the user interface, the bottom right is actually going to showcase, I think, 4 skills at a time with an option
Right.
for a shuffle button, right? So it's going to be a really
Hmm.
interesting dynamic. It's not like you could actually just spam all of your moves all at once over and over again. You're actually forced to play with the resources you have at hand or in hand, right? And taking a look at
Hmm.
some of the other ones, I actually wanted to pick your brain about this, MYK, about some
Hmm.
of the drill fists, right? I know the main founder, part of Nway, TK, is actually rocking the TK drill fist, but Jonah here has got the R3W drill fist. Can you tell me a little bit more about this specific mech?
The drill fists are pretty interesting because they seem like they're much more of a up close brawler type kind of character. You know, a lot of their drills don't have a ton of range, but they dish out a ton of damage, and it seems like their card synergy is really easy to like kind of flip back and forth between each other. So I'm pretty interested to see how the drill fists are gonna do. But my personal favorite, like I said, is the Giga Blade, which we'll probably see for the slide pretty shortly. But yeah, the star shots are the zoner types, and then the drill fists are kind of like your in your face types as well. But yeah, as we see here, we also have a Saw Lance. We have 2 Saw Lances in the tournament too. The Yuga Lab Saw Lance, as we see here from Spencer. Yeah, the different skills and the different weapon arms and all these things are going to play a big factor as well. All the stats are generally the same. They might some mechs might have a little bit more health, some might have a little bit more armor, a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
block proficiency, but it really comes down, I think, to the user. You know, I think how they manage the energy is really going to be a key part on how they get their victories as well.
Yeah, you see on the bottom left skill set too, Saw Spin and Arc Slash. There's a lot of moves here that actually can close the gap pretty effectively and also has combo ability to it. I actually had the luxury of being able to kind of play against this mech just a little bit or kind of pilot it. The Arc Slash costing, even though it costs like 3 energy points to spend, man, that thing has massive range and it's airborne at the same time
Yeah,
too. So the
exactly.
really cool thing about that is it sets you up for follow-ups for any other skills as well. And this is the one that we talked about, right? The Star Lordy Star Shot, part of Oni Force. This one,
Hmm.
I'm telling you, man, this one might be MVP just based off of the skill set and also the way it looks. It looks pretty cool.
It does look pretty cool. It has that yellow outfit on the mech. Kind of reminds me of like Bumblebee, you know. It's like, but then he's also a zoner that could also combo at the same time. It kind of reminds me of like, you know, coming over from your neck of the woods, right? With Street Fighter, with like a character like JP or something. He's a zoner, but he still has great combo factors, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of cheap. If there's anything I know about cheap is that it comes in the form of being able to quote unquote zone and also be able to dish it out up close, which I feel like Starshot is able to do, right? And speaking of up close,
Right.
Drill Fist, again, we talked about this a little bit, but this is coming from the founder and CEO of Nway. There has to be some sort of advantage here and also some reason why he built this mech the way that he did, right? Taking a look at his bonus core stats in general, we've talked about how almost equal all of the bonus core stats are, but this is the first time we've seen a lot of aggression towards, or a lot of points towards health, offense, and armor.
Right, and also that I think those are key stats for a mech such as a drill fist. Right, they're going to be a lot more up close, a lot more trying to get in your face, and sometimes you might eat some damage or two on the way in. So that's kind of like I think a good way to allocate your points into health and offense and armor and such as that. But yeah, like you mentioned too earlier, Vicious, like the thing about the airborne moves too, I feel as though using one of those skills preemptively might be a key factor in this tournament here today because I found as though when I was like messing around in practice mode and stuff like that, it seems like taking to the skies, especially against an ultimate or something, which you can't block, they're all unblockable. It seems like that might be the only way to truly like try to avoid an ultimate in
Damn.
neutral.
I didn't think
So
about that. That's
it's pretty
crazy.
interesting. Yeah, it is pretty interesting.
That's actually kind of nuts. I hope so. I want to know what the interactions like between like ultimates and moves that stun, right? Especially if you had something
Mm,
like head over heels. You saw that earlier from the TK Drill Fist. One of the skills that he
right,
had was
right.
a medium range attack that also stuns, but it also is like a backslide kind of movement. So maybe it could be used if not to trade with an ultimate or just kind of get the advantage. So I'm kind of curious if you could spam it. Then looking at the Sappy Steel Star Shot. Now, this is something that is one of the big questions from both of us was how is Wob going to be able to pilot this mech? Because there's something
Right.
that I
Yep.
feel like I couldn't get it to click together, but for the most part, just off the bat, it seems like a very long range kind of true zoning tactic that Wob is
True.
going
Yep.
for.
Yeah, this seems like the mech here today that's a true zoner type. You know, unlike the only Forces Starshot, which has the combo ability up close and OTGs and stuff like that. But Sappy Seal's Starshot, it seems like just traditional full screen. I just want to run away all day. It might be the best effective way to play this mech. I'm not sure. Maybe that's why, you know, they decided to go with this kind of build for their mech.
Yeah, I'd imagine so, right? If with the amount of practice that a lot of these founders have had already, I don't really know what the actual level of practice they've had, but I'd imagine they've built these mechs specifically for a reason. Of course, we're rounding it out with Yacht, Animoka's Saw Lance. This is going to be kind of interesting too. We have two Saw Lances in the building. This one is different in a specific way in regards to the skill set. I think looking at the offensive capabilities too is that's got to be the biggest highlight, right? They're looking to be in your face and seal the deal as soon as possible.
You know, out of all the supers, right? We have the two types of supers. We have the special super and the ultimate super. And the special supers only take 50% of the actual like 2D meter that you build in the game. The Saw Spark super is kind of interesting because it also works as an OTG. So you can use it for zoning, you can use it for combo extensions, and it pops them up afterwards too, after you use up one. And then the thing is, since it only uses 50% of the meter, you could choose to dump it all in one combo or save the next one for a rainy day. You know, I'm kind of curious to see what Animoka's Salt Lance can do here.
Dude, this mech could actually close the gap pretty well, right? Whether it's going to be a warp kick with the long range and how fast it is, it also grants a knockback. But the biggest thing I feel like is the Swallow Jet, right? It's got a primary function of being able to pull the mechs towards them and also being able to use a shoulder tackle to stagger the opponent. And that's going to be very important too, considering the core stats of the Saw Lance. But now, I feel like all of these guys are like already itching to play, right? If I'm not mistaken. But first things first, right? Let's take a look at the following graphic to see what the versus graphic is coming up. Yeah, okay, good. It's going to be Frank, the founder and CEO, I think, of DeGods, is going to be piloting the DeGods Gigablade versus Wob with the Sappy Seal Starshot.
Dude, this is the mech I've been talking about. DeGods Gigablade, man. This was definitely my favorite mech I got to mess around with. The combo ability, he has a huge sword. He looks super cool too. But yeah, a lot of the mechs here look really cool. But yeah, man, Gigablade is going to be a fun one to watch from the gods. Sappy Seals, though, like we said, just seems like Sappy Seals Starshot just seems like a traditional zoning type of mech. So I'm really interested to see how this first match is going to go.
Yeah, no doubt, right? All of our questions were more so towards Starshot. We've seen what Gigablade can do. It's really up to Sappy Seals to show us what he had in mind towards the creation of his mech. And again, just as we mentioned earlier, these are going to be 2 out of 3. This is pretty much single elimination. There's a lot on the line, too, in consideration of what's going to be provided in Rec League, right? For the most part, we talked about the Majestic boxes being available for purchase. The first place winner of this whole tournament will be receiving 150 Majestic boxes and 200 booster boxes, as if they don't already have all the cool stuff for their mechs already. Let's get into it. Game number one.
Here we go. Frank on 1P side, Wob on 2P side. They're both going for their slide kicks. Okay, like early burst. You know, burst, you could also use it offensively too. If you guys are familiar with such 2D games such as like Guilty Gear Strive or something like that, they have the burst mechanic here. But burst you could use defensively and offensively in this game. And you could use it as like an extra skill when you don't have energy points to spend on a card.
Oh, and we saw, coming in from Frank's screen, right? This is what happens. If you're a little bit too antsy, sometimes you just want to check the weather and actually go through different apps. It happens, man. I totally get it. So we are viewing this from Frank's side. This is Frank's POV coming in from the gods, right? So it's going to be pretty aggressive so far. Wob actually had the better start earlier, but he immediately, he spent his special, I think? Yeah, he still has bar at the top, so he definitely spent his special a little bit earlier. But look at this. The range game is going to be so beneficial to fight off against Frank.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. And the ultimate afterwards.
Unblockable!
The only way to avoid that was try to warp kick through it to get behind them and stay airborne. You know, the warp kick kind of comes in like a Mortal Kombat Scorpion Punch. You know, teleport off screen and comes in from the back and hits you from the back of the head. That would have been the only chance if you had that card available.
That's actually kind of funny, man. The mother of all beams, and it comes in from a little rocket. That's the best part. It like it shoots a small rocket first, and then once it connects and it stuns, it's like, all right, here we go, blah, proton cannon. So that was actually so sick.
What's that saying? It's not about the size; it's about how you use it, right?
Never heard that phrase ever in my life. But anyways, no, all jokes aside, with the Star Shot though, we're starting to see how effective it can be when we talk about the long range. The entire skill set is primarily long range with different variations of it being quick, it coming from the air, which is really important, right? We talked about avoiding some of the unblockable ultimates, right? If you use an aerial attack like Air Burst, the thing that Starshot had continuously, that could immediately dodge danger, one, but also stagger to get the interruption as well.
Exactly. That could be a big opening. See, those moves that take to the skies could be key, or saving the burst to use it offensively to, kind of put your opponent in like a checkmate scenario. You get like your first hit, you burst to keep your combo going. Let's say you don't have energy points, but you have that 2D meter up top right under the life bar. And let's say you have a full ultimate, just dump it all on them and you take the round, take the game.
No doubt. One of the biggest things too is how are these players going to be using some of their buffs that they have with them, right? I did see a little bit of slow repair coming in from Sappy Seals, but Wob kind of used it a little bit early in the matchup. So I'm kind of wondering like what scenarios can he utilize a slow repair and also kind of like utilize his blocking shield too. I want to know if there's any sort of significant chip damage, because for the most part when we were playing, it wasn't really necessarily about blocking. It was more like trying to interrupt each other's attacks from what I noticed, but I've never really taking a gander as to whether or not certain skills do significant chip damage, right?
Right. Yeah. No, stuff like that as well. But you also got to keep in mind too, you can't infinitely block in this game. Block does have a meter behind it, as you see that little shield symbol there as well. If it fully depletes, you can't block for a little while. So you're just opening yourself up to a world of hurt and interrupted out of the block out of that with the shield. And right there, just waiting for the shield to dissipate from Wob. Frank going in now.
Yeah. You saw a little bit of the temper tantrum, and it looks exactly like my nephew when he was 4, man. Really, really accurate design. Really well done. But damn, that was huge. The heavy swing.
Going right in. Yeah, we're just trying to play that full screen zoning game. Photon beams, tachyon beams, Starshot flurries. Just keep them out all day. And also that air burst, too, to try to avoid some danger.
The good old Canadian burst from up above. Yeah, we're looking at that shield slowly deplete, but it's going to be the mother of all beams. Does he run into it? Frank actually does. He gets stunned. Here's the amount of damage that I was looking for, but still, it slowly chips away. It's not going to be killing, but this is exactly what we were talking about earlier.
Back to the full screen zoning game. Frank has to find a way in. Starshot Fury, keeping him out. Get the shuffle there. Oh, the interesting thing about this game, interrupts him though. Blocking it all out, stuck in the corner though. Slide kick out into back to full screen.
Oh, we're gonna combo that. Oh no!
Didn't get the second hit of that.
Punished.
Ground stinger there.
Don't he run out of skills? Oh no! The chip damage.
Javelin zoning. He's just blocking it out, but we got the beam. He dashed right into it. Wow, taking it.
That was actually kind of close. I didn't think Wob was actually going to survive chip damage. Now that I was like really looking into it with the skills, there's a lot of chip damage in this game.
Right, yeah, it's super scary, but then blocking is better than getting hit, but it's also another resource that you have to keep track of because it is tied behind a meter as well. You can't infinitely block all day either.
Yeah, no doubt. We've seen what happens if you try to, but there's also some skills that like interrupt the blocking mechanic as well. There are a certain amount of moves here that can break shield, can break guard. Don't know what it was about Gigablade that actually allowed him to do so. I might have been tripping, but there were a couple interruptions that I've seen against Wob's Sappy Seal Starshot.
Yeah, I think they might have been using slide kick to interrupt a lot of their attacks because slide kick is like a really fast kick. It also covers a good amount of screen space as well. So especially if you lose that card, so you're not going to be able to use it.
Oh, that's rough too. One of the biggest things that we had seen actually, one of my big questions is what happens if you only have like one skill left to use, but you want to like, seal the deal off of a confirm and tie some of these skills together. Well, there is a shuffle option. Now, it doesn't guarantee you that you'll get the same exact skills, but the shuffle, man, I love the song in the back, but the shuffle actually allows you to refresh all of your skills at the cost of a certain amount of points. But the thing is, if you use at least 3 skills, right, and you shuffle, the points are actually taken away from the shuffle cost. So you're essentially shuffling for free, which is really great.
Yeah, that's a great point that you bring up, because when you first have the shuffle option, if you have a brand new hand, you have 4 cards, right? But you have the shuffle cost is costing 3 right at the start. But every time you use a card, the shuffle cost goes down by 1. So if you used up 3 cards and you're like, I don't know if I can use that 4th card for this combo right now, for this confirm. Let me hit that shuffle mid combo and try to land it with like a full fresh hand.
Yeah, I actually haven't been able to juggle and test the idea of like doing a particular skill and trying to like quick shuffle into the next one and just like match. I'm like, yo, man, that's actually a really good idea. If you could spot it out with how fast like the shuffle happens, like, dude, I could set up like perhaps maybe I could do a temper tantrum and keep them knocked down, right? If I use it as an OTG, I could use the animation to shuffle, and before it ends, I could tie maybe like a ground stinger or something.
No, that's actually a great move that you brought up, because Temper Tantrum has a 3-hit stomp, right? So each hit, I think, has a cancel point in it too. So it's like you could cancel it on the second or the third, or you could just, like, what Vicious said, just use that triple stomp time to hit that shuffle button, especially if you're on your, 4th card. That's actually pretty optimal. That's a good idea.
Broken. We're coming up with the stats already. It's a good thing neither of us are actually participating in Founders Cup, because I feel like we'd be actually mad broken. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And listen, Rec League, if you want to start a team, we've already got it down pat. Like, I don't think you understand.
We're coming up with strategies already. Yeah. Dude, it's like, I'm surprised that Sappy Seals did such a good job, because, I was kind of rooting for DeGod's Giga Blade. He had my favorite mech in this tournament, but Sappy Seals taking that first set 2-0 over DeGod's Giga Blade. Not going to see my favorite mech later on in this tournament, but we already got the next match ready for you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be Yacht representing Animoca Brands going in with the Animoca Solance. Then it's going to be Klon Klon being able to use the Cool Cats Spike Ball. Klon obviously representing Cool Cats.
That's your personal favorite. Yeah.
It's the only one with a Dragon Punch animation, and I'm all about it, right? So,
dude, yeah, exactly.
Oh, I lied to you all. It's actually going to be my bad. It's going to be Real Third Web's Drill Fist coming in, represented by Jonah, as well as Yuga Labs Solance, piloted by Spencer. Okay, you know what? Don't worry about that. They're trying to test my reflexes. I had it right the first time. My bad. My bad to me, okay? I had it right the first time.
Good call out, though. But yeah, that is going to be the next match. Animoca, one of the big sponsors here today, bringing out the Solance, going up against Cool Cats Drill Fist.
Yeah, the Drill Fist is going to be one of those mechs that actually has a lot of pressure up close and could also interrupt a lot of the skills that a lot of the mechs try to utilize, right? But I think for the Solance, though, the Solance actually has really great versatility from, like, all ranges, and that's the scariest thing too.
Right, yeah. It's kind of like the medium in between, it's like not full zoner, not full like brawler where they want to just be up in your face. They kind of, with the lance, the little extended range on that weapon lets them kind of play at that mid-range comfortably, or that close range if they want to as well.
Yeah, so we are going to be playing out this match in just a little bit. These guys are going to be preparing themselves via Discord, right? This is our first time being able to kind of interact with the founders, part of Founders Cup, to kind of get them to stream it on Discord, get them to queue up. So it's all just pretty much a work in progress and pretty much a fun exhibition for those of you that are tuning in from the stream. So please do mind our dust as we get ready for our next couple of matches. Absolutely. It does get a little bit off. It happens in every fighting game tournament. We have some hiccups, but we do appreciate everybody's patience going into it, as long as we have a pretty much good time. So looking into it again, Yacht representing Animoca, he's got the Solance. Klon coming in with Cool Cats, he's representing the Drill Fist.
Drill Fist, man. But all right, we'll be right back.
Karenia Special. We call this thing Super Smash Pass. Mezzy doesn't like the name though. Sucks for him. Yeah, okay. Jalen, jeez. Sorry. My sister wants me to shift off the mechs for a moment and show you how our new friends don't like to listen to us. They think we can send a signal from the surface of this junk moon. The electromagnetic atmospheric anomalies simply make it impossible. We would know. I mean, we've only been here for 4 freaking years. See?
Yo, it's been a really cool time, man. We were trying to see how some of the founders would utilize some of their mechs, and it didn't disappoint, right? We actually had a big surprise coming in from match 1, where we had Sappy Seal Starshot take the W, not only with the mother of all beams, but the utilization of the slide kick primarily, being able to go airborne with their air burst as well. It was really impressive. So with that in mind, match number 2, that's going to be underway as well. So be sure to tune in. This is going to be really, really sick. You guys do not want to miss it. It's going to be Yacht versus Klon coming in. Obviously, it's going to be Animoca versus Cool Cats. Let's take a look at the bracket also. Let's take a look at how everything's been going so far. And this is what you can expect, right? If you guys have been fans, have been following along with some of these founders, well, this is what the matchup is like. And again, it's going to be single elimination.
Yeah, so unfortunately, my favorite, the gods, unfortunately out of it. That's the nature of single elimination tournaments. But yeah, up next, Animoca Brands versus Cool Cats Spikeball. That mech is a really cool one. So I'm really interested to see. Animoca has a Saw Lance as well. So it's going to be an interesting matchup to see how this goes. I think Cool Cats is the only one with an actual Spikeball mech. Nobody else has a Spikeball mech. So it's the unique mech out of the mech, out of the bunch.
That's actually a really good observation to make. With the Spike Ball, I feel like they're the only ones with their specific trait for their special move as well as their ultimate, right? The Dragon Spike, which you might see, hopefully it gets utilized. It's your standard, like, Shoto uppercut in like classic fighting games, right? The creation of the Dragon Punch started pretty much in Street Fighter. This is that move, right? And what I mean by that is it is the ultimate tool for both offense and defense in this game, at least, because this thing can interrupt. This thing has invincibility frames, and also it's got combo ability to it, which is really sick.
Yeah, like I hopefully get to see that special played out in this match. You know, it depends on how these players are going to be utilizing their specials, or if they're going to be favoring their skills more, where they're putting their bursts in the match too. It bursts, like, we didn't really talk about it too much when we were going over the mech overview, right? Because it wasn't like, it's a universal mechanic. Every mech has this once per game. So you could use it either defensively to use it as like a combo breaker if you're getting comboed by your opponent, and especially when they're dumping all four hands, all four cards into a combo, right? So you just made them blow all that energy for no reason, and you just burst out of it. And the crazy thing about it too, burst, if you use it defensively or offensively, it leaves you open to get a combo.
Oh yeah, that's like one of the big balances that I like in fighting games. If they do have that sort of mechanic, like a get off me move, there has to be a really good like pro and con to it, right? Pros, obviously, you talked about being able to get a little bit of an interruption or a significant interruption against an opponent's attack, being able to knock them down and go into another combo. But also, like if it does get blocked, like the risk reward behind it, if you get red and you get blocked for it, you might die. You might get blown up.
Yeah, especially in a game like this where it all depends on the energy point management on the bottom. If you guys see the little telephone signals on the bottom, that's the energy points right there. And then if they have the full stock too, and sometimes they could go over the limit, like 11 is usually the average max on that, but I've seen it go up to 13 if you use some specific buff cards to on certain mechs as well.
Man, imagine if the founders were actually listening to the chat or actually listening to the stream, but they're like, oh man, I got to take notes down because, some of these guys are spitting. And it's true though, because being able to, I think that's a big advantage too. Being able to like go past the amount of energy points that you're allotted per game is actually pretty significant, or at least for like a certain amount of time to chain together different skills. I think that's really important too. Or even just to kind of like get an early shuffle if need be.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up too. Like you mentioned earlier, if you use up 3 cards in your first hand and you get that shuffle and you have that extra leftover energy, you could possibly do like a 6-7 card combo into a special or an ultimate at the end if they already used their burst. So it's the optimization is going to be getting crazy in this.
That's actually kind of sick. Yeah, if you were able to tie in a shuffle, like you get a free shuffle off of a skill, you launch out of that, and then you get to do like a full hand splat, that'd be actually kind of sick. And that, man, being able to just splash your hand like that is really, that's got to be like, you're asking for like 40 to 50% damage or something, because I've seen, we were playing, and I do mean like really trying to grind out some of these mechs. Me and MYK were playing before the stream even started. He landed a 28 hit combo, I believe, and it did like 45% damage, and it was insane.
Dude, combos can do a lot too. But yeah, like Vicious was saying too, the Dragon Spike special, that's the 50% super that the Spike Ball has from Cool Cat side, from Klon. Yeah, that thing is going to be super beneficial in any type of matchup. Just having like a Dragon Punch to get out of trouble. Oh, I got knocked down. They're regaining some energy, and now they're coming in for Oki or something, right? Just wake up with that, and especially if that lands, and especially if you have a burst behind it too. It's like, oh, it's almost like FADC in a sense from like Street Fighter 4 days. It's like, sure, you might have to eat that first initial hit, but after that you burst out, and then it's still your turn.
Yeah, I want to see it used in a and kind of like our traditional West Coast saying is rush that stuff down, right? I kind of want to see it used in a way where it interrupts somebody's ultimate. I want to know if that's even possible, because I don't know. We don't necessarily know what the invincibility frames are going to be like in an ultimate, right? You're going to see the animation.
Priority system between special and ultimates, right?
Yeah. One of the cool things though is that we have seen the interrupted icon on certain moves, so that is a possibility where certain iframes could last longer than others. So we'll see if that ever comes into effect. I want to know if Spike Ball or if Klon actually has that idea in mind to Dragon Spike past an ultimate as soon as the startup happens.
But yeah, also on Animoca's side with the Saw Lance, their special is Saw Charge, and that is a long range saw that they throw on the floor, kind of like Kung Lao's had in Mortal Kombat games and in OTGs as well. So the combo extensions for that is going to be nuts. So I just want to see how they utilize their specials, how they use their resources, and especially too with Animoca's Saw Lance, they have the Swallowing Jut, which is also another suction type of move as well. But all right, guys, we have the game underway and we're going into it. Klon on 2-piece side and Animoca on 1-piece side.
Oh, we're coming in hot as well. We did get the triple guillotine a little bit earlier. This is going to be from the perspective of the Cool Cat side for the Spike Ball. We're coming in hot. Yes, sir. Oh, no. Yeah, that Zeta Fist.
Didn't actually combo.
You actually have to do that stand. You can't OTG it.
But yeah, we saw the Saw Charge there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to use it in a combo. Then we have the tracking corridor to do some zoning.
Oh, we'll
the War Kick gets blocked. Yeah, War Kick gets blocked. Do we get a punish? Yep, the drone roll into the triple guillotine.
Oh, he should have kept it. He still has guard break. Yes. Wait a minute. Yeah. Ret! I love that.
Wow. First game to Cool Cat Spike Ball from Klon. Good stuff there.
That's what I was looking forward to. I wanted to see whether or not they would actually use their guard break skill to chip them out, or at least, you know, force the opponent to actually utilize the skill. There is a lot of startup on it, by the way, so there are certain moves that could kind of get a checkmate scenario and blow past your guard, but there are other ways to combat it than just like, instead of just trying to block it. You can obviously ulti through it. You could use moves that are a lot faster than what's being displayed on the screen too.
You might even be able to reaction burst on it too, I think, while you're blocking. So it's pretty interesting. Everybody technically has that guard break move. It's a 5-cost card. But yeah, it's a universal card. Everybody has it, but of course, with it being a 5-cost card, it's a little bit more expensive than all the other skills that you might have in your hand. So it's like, do I want to use this? And it also has like a visual indicator as well, with like a streak of red behind it, so it's just letting you know that this move is unblockable. It will break your guard if you do just try to play that overly defensive style.
Yeah, and I love being able to like have that skill set to blow someone else's guard up. Then that's it's pretty important, right? Especially if you're in like the newer side of fighting games. It's like you kind of meet people who just kind of like want to guard up. They're not too sure of how to utilize their skills. Well, if you want to be a bully about it, like if you want to kind of like get into like the more advanced levels, having a guard break is super, super important from like the medium to like lower levels as well.
Yeah, of course. And also like the next layer after that, it's just like, okay, he's gonna do like a super slow guard break. Maybe I'll try to react to it with like a faster move, such as like a slide kick or a warp kick, for example. In this case, with Anamaka Saw-Lance, you know, warp kick might be crucial, especially in getting out of trouble against those guard breaks or those ultimates.
Yeah, so let's take a look at game number 2. Hopefully, we can get that on and going, really, because I see the players already kind of like queued up and they're looking to play. There we go. We got it in. Yacht versus Klon here for game 2. Now, Klon had taken the initial first game. But yeah, with these overlays, you won't be able to see their names as much in terms of like what's on the bar. But yeah, we saw the big interruption. We saw the chest bump. We got the OTG as well, and I like that.
Wasn't able to extend it, though. With the chest bump, tried it after the drone roll. Okay, going to that defensive style. Warp kick to get in, but the suction... Wow, from the tractor beam, caught him on the warp kick. Got the ultimate here. Doesn't combo. It's actually one of the shorter range ultimates in the game.
I thought that was gonna work.
Guard meter right there during the Saw Spark.
And you can see Yacht, he's trying to play a little bit defensive. He's looking for the big punish. He does get the warp kick. This is going to be huge. Into the Rising Crescent. Is he going to set up? No, he's going to go for a slow repair. Not a lot of recovery on that. So he's going for it immediately. Really nice.
Slow repair, recovering a little bit of health over time. Oh, but we're going in with the triple guillotine, not letting him play. Saw Spark just blocks it. Smart stuff. Back to zoning game. Okay. Coming in with the spike slam from full screen, but counters it with the warp kick.
Shoulder tackle to close the gap. I don't know, man.
Again, chip, but punishes it with the ultimate. That is actually a brilliant choice.
That's overkill if you ask me, man. This is already, he's already got it, right? Saw Spark, he got blocked 2 times over. He's already dead. Yacht giving him the round of applause. I love the sportsmanship there, but Klon, man, 10-yard penalty. That's 2 tech penalty, really, because this guy just went in for an ulti after a blocked Saw Spark. There's a lot of recovery, or Saw Charge, excuse me. That's a lot of recovery on that.
Yeah, that was a good choice there. You know, especially, you know, that's the thing, right? Saw Charge is a special, which costs 50% of that meter, or you can save it for the ultimate, like Klon did there, and use it for an unblockable or punish in that scenario.
Yeah, no doubt. It's actually really intuitive to kind of, you know, wait for your opponent to kind of let a skill go off. We kind of saw that early on where they would kind of guard up initially, and as soon as someone struck, if the other person was still in a guard stance with their block shield up, they just kind of waited for the animation to end and then just immediately go into skill after skill. I think Klon had done that a couple of times over, but going into the next matchup, I do believe, looking into it, for match number 3, it should be Jonah versus Spencer. So it's going to be R3W, aka Real Third Web, representing the Drill Fist, versus Yuga Labs, also rocking the Saw Lance. Interesting.
This is the second Saw Lance. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Jonah versus Spencer.
Yeah, so it's going to be going up in just a little bit. And again, a reminder of what's to come, right? We have the bracket that had been shown up a little bit earlier, but when it comes to head, I love the way this looks too, man. The way
Yeah,
the drill fist and the
fist,
saw lance,
yo.
dude, that's so sick.
The triple eyes from the Yuga Lab saw lance is super cool, right?
Is that a Triclops then? Is that what they're called? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it is a Triclops.
All right, cool. Then what's the thing on the bottom right? What is that? Multiclops.
Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. That's a good name for it.
I think we'll just call it Omniclops, dude. I don't know, man. That's a lot of eyeballs, brother.
But yeah, real third web drill fist here, especially with the vine thorn like tentacle thing right there, super like crazy looking, right? Especially this just shows you how much customization factors you could put on the cosmetic side for your mech as well.
No doubt, no doubt. In the meantime, we will be throwing into a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have this matchup for you. It's going to be Real Third Web's Drill Fist going up against Yuga Lab Saw Lance right after this.
Oh.
So, to plan B then. Let's now watch their little droid try. And bonus. You okay there, buddy? He's fine. He's good. But, so yeah, 0 for 2. I guess it's a good thing, though, because now we can get back to Super Smash Bros. Still working on the theme song, don't judge.
We're still out there. I have to find them.
Wait.
I have to let them know.
What?
If you can hear this.
Oh, shit.
We're still out there. I have to find them. I have to let them know.
Jalen,
If you can hear this.
I know. It's Mom's voice. She's alive.
the official debut of the competitive aspect from all the mechs that have been thrown down thus far. It's been pretty entertaining to see some of the results as well. My name is Vicious, here with MYK, and with the amount of time that we've had so far being able to practice the game, we've had a lot of fun just overall looking at it from a different perspective for some of the founders as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we have like more the traditional fighting game background, me coming from Tekken, Vicious coming from Street Fighter, but a lot of the fundamentals in this game kind of carry over. You know, like you still want to be blocking, you want to get your punishes, your whiff punishes, and when to, you know, manage your resources is also a big factor in this game too, especially with every skill tied to a cost behind energy costs. And then you also have your super meter up top as well. So it's just like all those things, and also the burst too is a thing to come up together to like kind of formulate a strategy for your mech.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what we're looking forward to as well, right? So far, we've had up to 2 matches. We had Frank, part of the Gods, face off against Wob from Sappy Seals. We saw Sappy Seals take it down to a big surprise, really, because we were trying to find out some of the coherency or the cohesion with some of the skills that the Star Shot, the initial Star Shot, had. Then afterwards, we had Yacht representing Animoca with his Saw Lance going up against Klon with the Cool Cat Spike Ball. The Spike Ball managed to take it down as well. We're all the way up to our 3rd matchup, if I'm not mistaken. We saw it right before we went to break. It was Jonah, part of a Real Third Web, up against Spencer, aka Everyday Zucchini. Not your ordinary Zucchini, but he's representing
every day.
every day, baby. Part of Yuga Labs, and he's representing the Saw Lance today.
Yeah, we got 2 Saw Lances, 2 Char Shots, we got 2 Drill Fists in this tournament, and we're seeing the 2nd Drill Fist and the Saw Lance here with our Real Third World and Yuga Labs.
Yeah, that's actually pretty hype, dude. That title alone coming in for Spencer, Chief Gaming Officer. Listen, man, I've never wanted to be a C-level officer ever in my life up until that moment. I would love to be a Chief Gaming Officer. Not gonna lie to you, man. Pretty hype.
That does sound pretty cool. What do you do for a living? Chief.
You know, I'm a Chief Gaming Officer. That's sick, dude.
That is sick.
So yeah,
we're going to be getting that 3rd game underway for you guys just shortly. We're almost underway with all the first round matches already. So we're going to be going into the 2nd round after this. But yeah, as we see here, we have Real Third Web's Drill Fist, super cool design, going up against another super cool design, the Yuga Lab Saw Lance. So it should be an interesting matchup.
No doubt. Let's get the matches underway, shall we? Drill Fist versus Saw Lance. We've talked about some of the skills that both can utilize. Let's see it in action. Now, the Drill Fist, again, pretty much a variety of different types of attacks in terms of the ranges, right? They can cover every part of the screen. However, the Saw Lance, they're going to be focusing more so from the long-range game, being able to whiff punish effectively with some of the skills that they have, like the Saw Lance Spin, or even an Arc Slash, or even a long-range beam for the most part. So we're going to see whether or not Jonah is going to bring the fight to Spencer, or if Spencer is going to be playing the keep away game.
Yeah, we definitely saw that earlier too with the Char Shot, fighting out of the corner, kind of just playing with the shield up as well. That could definitely be a viable strategy here.
So we are going to get the matchup by the way. Excuse me.
Like Vicious was saying too, like Spencer from Yuga Labs with the Saw Lance too, he has a lot of long range abilities. Even the first special that they have is the Double Stake. It's a long range weapon that wall splats. Then you have Arc Slash, which is a jumping attack, and then Tachyon Beam, which is a long range projectile. So this mech can definitely play from all ranges.
Oh, I'm hyped for that, actually. Tachyon Beam is actually kind of cheap. I'm not gonna lie. Tachyon Beam, I feel like the initial startup of that, he does that kind of like what the old classic Kung Fu shoulder first. Oh, okay, never mind. It's just straight up the beam, huh? All right, I see you.
Oh, but we're getting the temper tantrums. We're walking all in there.
He's upset. The Saw Lance Spin. Again, that's gonna be more of a whiff punishing move, more so than an initiator, especially if Jonah's going to be like walking back, right? So I'm kind of curious now, what's going to be the play? Ooh, the warp kick coming in.
Warp kick, always a great option to, you know, come in at any time when you want to. And Jonah's definitely playing more of a full screen game right here. Going in with the Falling Auger.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
He's teleporting all over the place.
This guy's cheating.
Yeah, we're also seeing the landmines coming out of Spencer as well. Oh, there was the guard break attempt, but he was still getting up from the grounded position, so there was nobody there. Oh. And the shield's up.
Oh, we're gonna get the ultimate,
but we might be in the air. We might be in the air.
Oh, it's still hit!
Dang.
That's OD.
Come on, get off me. Get off
That's
me.
actually OD. You can't ask him to get off of you as soon as the animation starts. Hey, do we get a side switch after this?
I think sometimes, yeah, you do.
Yes!
He's temper tantruming the other way.
He's upset at the wall. He's mad at the game.
I don't blame him. He just got ultied.
What was that? No shot.
Comboed. Okay. OTGs with the temper tantrum off that.
Oh,
just
no.
marching on out. He brings it back.
He's
Wow.
upsetty spaghetti. Did you see how many temper tantrums that was? That was like more than an adolescent child all in one. That's actually pretty impressive. Multiple
combination.
temper tantrums.
Dude, I wanted to see what his hand looked like, dude. Maybe he had like 2 or 3 of them in his hand at that current time. And he's just like, okay, time to dump them all. And it's a great choice, too, especially after a knockdown like that, too. He's just like, all of them OTG, all of them combo into each other. Pretty sick.
You could get more than one of the same skill for sure, but is it possible to get like 3 of the same skill? I actually would love to see that over and over and over again.
I haven't seen 3, but maybe you can if you get that free shuffle, you know?
Oh, you were right. What if you
Yeah.
get 4 of them? Can you do that?
You
all right.
probably could, yeah.
So technically, temper tantrum costs 3 energy points, right? So at most you can get is like 3 in a row.
Unless you maybe you could build that extra 3 by the 3rd one, you know, I'm not quite sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it is-
fair.
Yeah, but 3 is probably going to be like right where they max out on that.
That makes a lot of
again, but-
sense.
Mhm. And then you could also cancel the temper tantrum to other moves that don't take your energy points. You can use it for your supers like Meteor Fall or Gone Portal. But yeah, in Meteor Fall too also acts as an OTG, so you can definitely utilize that pretty easily in a combo.
The fact that it wall spikes as well, if you're thinking about it, right? If you do like let's say you do a triple temper tantrum, right? You OTG with a Meteor Fall after that, you could actually spend time like during that animation to build up
Right. Yeah,
some of your energy points back.
Dude, you're starting to blow my mind. We might get like a quadruple, quintuple temper tantrum combo. That would be sick. Put a little Meteor Fall in the middle of that as like a little temper tantrum sandwich.
I'm totally down for that, dude. See, now I want to actually try to break the game and make that happen. Yo, I'm actually gonna play this after this. So, taking a look into the next the next game.
Starting it off with the temper tantrum just like that too from Spencer's side.
Yeah, so we actually did get a switch up in terms of who's player 1 and who's player 2.
Yeah,
You can see
right.
every Zucchini. That's actually Spencer from Yuga Labs. We're going to get the graphics changed up in just a little bit, but just keep in mind, right, we had a little bit of a side swap, but for the most part, this should be from the perspective of the Saw Lance, if I'm not mistaken. You can see the bottom left, this double stake is the special move for the Saw Lance.
Wow, but right there, using the warp kick and actually punish the burst attempt. Oh, meaty drill fist attack right there. Using the Saw Land spin, but gets the backdash away from it.
Oh, we're playing footsies.
Ooh, the follow-up hit on the stomp actually hit him.
Damn, that's far. Yo, that arc lance is literally 3/4 of the screen. Did you see that?
Yeah, especially with that weapon, it's huge. Falling hard to get in. We got the stun. Are we going to get OTG? We didn't quite get the OTG with the temper tantrum.
No.
Interrupted
No.
there.
We need a
We're
shuffle.
just building up the system restore.
Oh, airborne for both, but no, it's gonna be Jonah who gets that hit. He just needs one more. He's looking for a super, right? He's gotta be charging up for a special at least.
Arc slash into the guard break. Into the ultimate. Does this combo?
Please tell me it combos. Oh no, it's not OTG!
Only one projectile hit. And then we're gonna wake up with the ultimate. We're not gonna be able to block this. This could be it. Jonah already celebrated.
No shot. Spencer going down.
That's that. Just like that, Jonah already knew. As soon as he woke up and he missed the combo, he went into the ultimate, and this was enough life to kill.
0-2, man. That's rough. You know, I gotta say, Spencer actually had the lead during the first game, then he let it go, like, immediately afterwards. I don't know what it was, but he was just hanging out in the corner, if I'm not mistaken. But that's 2-0, right? Am I tripping?
Yeah, that was another 2-0. That's correct.
So there it is.
First round matchups, 3 matches so far, going 2-0. So yeah, we still got one more for round number 1. So coming up next, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, no doubt, right? We took a look at the bracket a little bit earlier, right? That was the conclusion between Jonah and Spencer. To go through our next matchup, just in case we don't get to see it, we got TK that's going to be hanging out with us a little bit. He's going to be facing off against Star Lordy, aka Henry, who's representing Oni Force, right? There's going to be the Drill Fist versus the Star Shot, so we're going to at least see a repeat character coming in for both ends, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like same mech type, but their skill set might be a little bit different. You know, like I said earlier before when we were going over the mechs, the Oni Force Star Shot has a lot more synergy, it felt like, than Sappy Seal Star Shot. You could kind of like link all the skills together any which way you want, and they kind of just work. And also like the ability with the leapfrog just kind of stays out there for a while, and it kind of just, it's a projectile that stays active on screen, and it keeps bouncing and bouncing and bouncing because it is a frog out there. But then we have TK's Drill Fist, another Drill Fist character coming up. He does have one of those airborne moves as well with head over heels. So you can avoid possibly some potential damage that way, but it is a little bit slow, so it might get interrupted, so you got to be worried about that. But yeah, this is going to be the final match of round number 1 here. It's going to be TK going up against Star Lordy.
Yeah, really excited about that. These were the two mechs that we actually had our eyes on. Star Shot, you know, we actually had a little bit of practice with, you know, I know MYK has been able to kind of showcase some of the ways to link some of the skills together. Drill Fist, however, we've seen a good amount of that already. In fact, I mean, obviously, match number 3 with Jonah, we got to see the potential of the Drill Fist. Will we see the same type of results going into this next matchup? We'll see, but we're going to have to find out in just a little bit, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, hey! Didn't see you there. I was working on some power core modifications and got distracted. So yeah. You got to meet my new friend Faye last time. Today though, you got me, Brody Carenya, engineer, interstellar castaway, and all-around wonderkin. And today, we're gonna talk about these hulking hunks of metal. My mechs! My sister Jalen sculpted these 10 ninjas so I'd have some friends. But I made them move. And after that, it wasn't long till we started battling them. Sibling rivalry, right? You see there? That's our battle ring. And this is the controller. It's my own design. I'm the best around. It's a classic Carenya special. We call this thing Super Smash Pass. Mezzy doesn't like the name though. Sucks for him. Yeah, okay. Jalen, jeez. Sorry. My sister.
Welcome back, everybody. You guys are watching Rec League Founders Cup, and we've already are quite a bit through the first round bracket of today's tournament. It's a single elimination bracket. We are on the final match of round number 1. You guys are joining me, MYK, and Vicious on the mic.
Yeah, so we talked about it a little bit earlier before we went into the break. We saw the head-to-head graphic a little bit earlier, right? TK, the man representing Enway with his drill fist, man. We talked about, some of the tournament organizers trying to get in on their own tournaments. We know how that goes, but hopefully Star-Lord, he has something else up his sleeve representing Oni-Force with that Star Shot. So again, it's going to be the TK drill fist versus the Oni-Force Star Shot coming up. And these are mechs that you've already been familiarized with early on, right? In match 1, we saw our very first Star Shot in comparison with Sappy Steels. Then in match 2, we saw our very first Solans come in from Yacht. So this is going to be 2 different pilots with 2 variations of those different mechs.
Yeah, of course, the drill fist here, as we saw, a little bit closer up kind of mech, and then the Star Shots, they can play that full screen zoning game very efficiently, but Oni-Force's Star Shot, unlike Sappy Seals earlier, I felt like has a lot more synergy with their skills where you can just kind of mix and match them, and they all kind of combo together and stuff. So I'm going to be very interested to see what TK Drill Fist is going to have to bring to the plate.
Yeah, no doubt, right? We take a look at the skill set that we've seen early on when we were doing the showcase, right? So looking at TK's Drill Fist, just right off the bat, I'm seeing a lot of kind of skills that can kind of control, right? If they manage to land, there's a lot of combo ability off of it. You're looking at a multitude of different wall bounces. You have 2 different skills that can wall spike. You have something to kind of start things off with the stun. And then you also have like a continuation skill called Quake that allows you to build off an OTG.
Yeah, and it's an OTG that gives a stagger afterwards for more extensions if you have the energy. Of course, it's all about that meter management. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see that the combo ability on both these mechs, I think, are pretty good. So it's really gonna be up to the pilots on how they utilize their skills.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. Looking at the matchup between TK and Star-Lordy, I'm obviously gonna be going for the guy that has Enway in his name, right? Being
Yeah,
able to
the
represent the
devs,
game.
right?
Like, come on, man. You're gonna face off against one of the devs. Listen, man.
He's gotta take the whole thing. He's gotta be the favorite, right?
There's gotta be like an exhibition where at least like one of us gets to face off against some of the devs, because that would be hype. That would actually be kind of hype. But anyways, we are gonna get that match underway. It's gonna be TK's Drill Fist going up against Star-Lordy and his Oni-Force Star Shot. So looking at it right now, if I were really trying to like assess the situation between these 2 mechs, I honestly feel like maybe the Star Shot might be able to take it down against the Drill Fist. What's your thoughts on it, MYK?
Personally, we saw the Gods Giga Blade earlier. I said that was my favorite mech going into this tournament. But my second favorite out of all the mechs here is definitely Oni-Force's Star Shot, because it just seemed like so much fun putting the skill sets together. And, just having that option of playing that full screen zoning game, especially in this type of matchup when you're going up against TK's Drill Fist, much more closer up in your face type of mech. It doesn't really have like a warp kick like we've seen one of the mechs earlier has. You don't really have that option to close the gap full screen like that. But here we go, we're going into game number 1 between the 2, TK versus Star-Lordy.
You can see on the bottom left, right, the mother of all beams. That can only mean one thing, right? You're looking at the perspective of Star-Lordy and that Star Shot. So that's going to be very, very important to note. TK coming in from Enway, man, he's part of the BGC. My man, I'm already rooting for him.
Well, as you guys can see here, we have Star-Lordy in the yellow mech as the Star Shot. But right now, he's getting cornered, comboed. Half his life already gone.
And I like the switch up too. We have the Drillionaire side too. We could actually take a look at both perspectives. This is now the perspective from the drill fist, right? You can see on the bottom left what skill sets are.
And we go from corner to corner, but wakes up with the block, double roundhouse, and we're going in.
Beam assault, yes sir.
Ooh,
the big interruption.
It.
The advancing suppression is so sick.
Yeah, he's just walking and shooting. And here's the combo ability coming out. Oh, it wasn't able to OTG with that. Did it a little too early while they were still in the ground down state.
Advancing suppression again. Man, this drill shot is getting suppressed. Actually living up to the name.
Goodness.
Jesus.
And it comboed into the advancing suppression at the end after all those hits. He's using the Star Shot spin to start his combo, and the last hit of that sends him up as a launcher, and then he comboed that into his special. That was sick.
How many star shot spins did we see? We talked about how many points you have in regards to like your energy points per match, or at least per couple of seconds, right? Maximum is 11. He did star shot spin like multiple times over and still managed to get all of these combos in. That's actually kind of nuts. And it's also a wall bounce on top of it. So like his combo ability going from star shot spin into advancing suppression was actually mad good.
Yeah, and I just love that too because you know, Oni Force's Star Shot was cornered for like first half of that match, right? And as soon as he got out with that one skill, and then he just reset the neutral with the advancing suppression special, and then he got him from corner to corner, and then he just started mauling him in that other corner.
Hopefully we could take a look at the second game immediately afterwards, because I gotta say, if you're TK, you know, he was actually giving him a round of applause. He was definitely clapping him up towards Henry, but at the same time, it's like he looked like he was in full control, right? His initial outburst was taking up so much damage against Henry's mech, and it was really impressive too. But again, this guy's part of Enway, right? I'd imagine he already had like some sort of scheme ready to go already.
Yeah, and you know, Enway are the devs for this game, Rec League here, and we're going after the Founders Cup right now. And one of the founders for Enway representing the game, you know, so we're expecting maybe a comeback here in game number 2. Don't count TK out.
That'd be kind of hype, right? We want to see some of these games go through the full set of a best of 3, right? So far, it's been nothing but 2-0s. As impressive as that is, I think it's more impressive to see some of the interactions between a lot of the founders being able to slowly kind of pick up what it's like playing against some of the other players here. Because we don't, for all we know, they could have been playing against like the practice bot majority of the time. You know, we have that expression of like saving it for nationals, right?
Right.
But for the most part, this is like the showcase of all showcases here for Founders Cup, being able to see what some of these founders are all about. Oh, the advance already, the triple hawk coming in.
Oh, gets a punish with the multi-drill, and then the guard break. Okay, we're just going to use that to get the guard absorption, get the buff, run away now. We still got the timer on the guard absorption still up there, if you guys can see that up on top. Okay, just combos and then zones out, building that energy back up. But the leapfrog's going in, gets the stun, but doesn't capitalize off of it.
Oh, my bad. That was actually that's actually what the triple hawk was. My bad. I was looking at the other side. Yeah, Drillfist is able to use the double roundhouse, which is the big kick animation.
Bursts out of the combo, like we said, and uses the burst to get a special. Sends him into the corner now.
Oh, meaty triple hawk. That was hype.
Back to the zoning game, trying to replenish some energy.
Oh,
really forcing TK to come to him now.
I love the
full
animation
screen with the beam. Right, everything's so smooth.
Yes, I love the punishments.
Fist.
Oh, he didn't get it. He didn't get the rest of it.
Yeah, I didn't get all the hits out of that, unfortunately.
Block, brother!
Oh, he's just backdashing. There we go. There's the block. Tries to double roundhouse, but he just backdashes away. Full screen again. Full screen into advancing suppression. That seems to be the strat.
Oh, the burst didn't go through. Oh, it did. The trade was there still. Oh, boy. Are we going to see the surge? No, sir. We're still going to see.
Oh, we're getting the combos, though. TK Drillfist ties it up. Anyway, on the board, man. 1-1.
Big smile on his face as well. Did you see, like, after he got the Drillfist barrage, he was mashing, surging all the whole time. You could see, like, the skill just kind of, like, flashing back and forth. He's like, yeah, I need to mash this, and I got the W. That was actually pretty funny.
It's a good way to ensure that you get your combos to work out, you know, especially if you had the energy for it and you got the first hit. That's what we call a hit confirm in fighting games, you know. It's fundamentals, baby. You got to get those hit confirms, capitalize on that damage.
You knock down the fundamentals, you get it down pat, then the fun really comes out of it, really, because it's so cool. Like when you get something to hit off of a punish, we saw that earlier too from Oni 4 Star Shot. We saw the punish with the advancing suppression and also being able to go into Mother of All Beams. I think that might be possible. Actually, no, it might not be, excuse me. But being able to go into like maybe a leapfrog to get like the OTG, that's actually something that we would love to see a little bit more from Oni Force. But at the same time, TK Drillfist getting this run back, getting the W on the board is pretty cool, because now we actually get to see our first fully fleshed out best of 3, right?
Final game. This is the interesting part, right? And this is where a lot of hype happens, right? A super close set like this, and then it comes down to the last pixel and it's like super close. Yeah, this is what we live for, man. But yeah, I really like the Oni Force's Star Shot strategy, you know, just kind of staying away, trying to use the advancing suppression as a full screen zoning idea. Right there, blocking the beam coming out of Henry. But we're going in with Drill Fist bursting out, but it was a super high burst.
Oh, you had the stagger! No, but he didn't get to refresh his cards. No, he didn't get to shuffle
Yeah.
any of his skills again. TK, not like this.
Oh, gets interrupted. Both of them actually trading. Okay, into the spin to zone. Okay, we're blocking the advancing suppression this time. Nice. Those are the fundies we were talking about. Sends him full screen, takes the buff. The
Oh, he's trying to
is
send out the frog. Oh, he just ran into it. He doesn't have any guard left. That means he should be free to hit. Oh, man. But no, he actually stunned. He stunned Henry a little bit earlier.
There's the frog going through it with the ultimate. He gets it. Wow, with the drilling in air. It's going to be some good damage from this.
But this is where Henry really gets the shine, right? He gets the advancing suppression. He zooms
Still
on
has
in there.
burst.
Oh,
Still
he
has
faked
burst.
it. No way.
He
No
gets the
way.
hit. Is this enough? Didn't quite enough. Just a pixel and doesn't block the special advancing suppression. Wow, good stuff. You see TK right there also giving it up as well for a good game. But yeah, that was the closest set we've had. Good stuff to Star Lordy representing Only Force here with that star shot.
That was
good
actually
stuff.
sick. Yeah, he did. I think he did what? Beam assault. He did meaty beam assault, by the way. He let the shoulder whiff, got the beam to hit. Then he did star shot spin, backed up, and went to advancing suppression. That was actually beast to secure the checkmate scenario. Because even if he did block, I feel like he was still in a chip scenario, right?
Right, yeah, and also, you know, Star Lordy also still had burst on his side, so if he wanted to use that in his combo to extend his combo, if he doesn't have energy points, that's definitely a possibility as well. And you know, these players are only going to get better each round they go. You know, it's like this is only the first round bracket. We still have round 2, and then we got the finals.
Yeah, so we do have our final 4 remaining. Taking a look at the bracket. If we could go ahead and switch that up, it's going to be Wob versus Klon. Then it's going to be Jonah versus Star-Lordy. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see because we have pretty similar mechs pretty much back to back, right? We got the Star Shot in both match 5 and 6. But the only difference now is we have a Spike Ball and a Drill Fist representing the other 2 different sides of the bracket. So that's cool, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's especially the Spike Ball. But yeah, stay tuned, guys. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the Founders Cup so far for Reckley. We'll be right back with some more matches of round number 2 right after this.
Shift off the mechs for a moment and show you how our new friends don't like to listen to us. They think we can send a signal from the surface of this junk moon. The electromagnetic atmospheric anomalies simply make it impossible. We would know. I mean, we've only been here for 4 freaking years. See? They'll do. So, to plan B then. Let's now watch their little droid try. And Bonus. You okay there, buddy? He's fine. He's good. But, so yeah, 0 for 2. I guess it's a good thing, though, because now we can get back to Super Smash Bots. Still working on the theme song, don't judge.
We're still out there. I have to find them.
Wait.
I have to let them know.
What?
If you can hear this.
Oh, shit.
We're still out there. I have to find them. I have to let them know.
Jalen,
If you can hear this.
I know. It's Mom's voice. She's alive. Oh, hey! Didn't see you there. I was working on some power core modification.
Hey, didn't see you there. Working on some more power modifications for the next couple of matches. My name is Vicious, here with MYK. I just wanted to use that segue just because I really enjoy some of the videos and some of the lore that's been shown off here at Rec League. But for the most part, this is Founders Cup. We've come down to our final 4 competitors here for today's tournament.
Is Klon, Wob representing Sappy Seals, and Klon representing Cool Cats. And Klon is the only one here with the Spike Ball mech, which Vicious kind of favored that mech over the others. But Sappy Seal we saw earlier, where we saw the Star Shock kind of zoning, really defensive style. But let's take a look at the bracket here. This is top 4 action for you guys. We got Wob going up against Klon coming up first. Then it's going to be Jonah going up against Star Lordy after that. And then that's going to decide who's going to be going up against each other for the finals. And that's going to be a first to best out of 3 out of 5.
We got it. We got it down pat, right, with our top 4. Now, I was looking at the chat a little bit earlier before going back into the matches. So, a lot of fans out there coming in talking about, you know, who's going to take who over the other, who's got the better mech. I got to know who likes Wob and who likes Klon. Let me see you guys represented in the chat one more time to bring it in. Again, to take a look at the mechs. If we get the head-to-head graphic, Wob, he's going to be representing the Sappy Seal Star Shot. We talked about that a little bit ago. Now, majority of the potential is long range, but at the same time, Wob is still able to lay down the damage pretty close range if need be. So that tells me that this mech does have a lot of capabilities pretty much throughout the entirety of the stage. But one thing is for sure, right? Klon coming in with the Cool Cat Spike Ball. That thing could be a big show interrupter, especially with that Dragon Spike that we were talking about.
Yeah, the Dragon Spike is a super crucial move, special move as well, so it's tied behind that 50 meter. But you know, he also has approach tools such as Spike Slam. You know, it's a little bit costlier than a lot of the other skills being at a 4 cost. But you know, he kind of teleports in from the skies and jumps to wherever you're at and does a body splash, and he can convert off of that into like a full combo. So we're gonna see like how both of these players kind of try to approach each other. Sappy Seal Star Shot though, we saw in his round 1 match that he played a lot more of a defensive style, a lot more than the other players, you know, kind of staying defensive in the corner, kind of like keeping the shield up. But then as soon as he was about to run out of the shield, had strategy, you know, went for the slide kick to get himself out of there. So it's like really a sound player in that defensive department.
Yeah, no doubt. I want to see what happens when he's faced off against somebody who could kind of pressure you down with the Spike Ball mech. You know, we've seen that capability before. I've had the luxury of being able to test out that mech specifically with this build. I think there's a lot of potential here to kind of be the aggressor and also the offender most of the time and just interrupt a lot of the things that maybe the Star Shot wants to do. But we'll see, right? I personally I still couldn't piece together some of the skills and the skill set to kind of like find the combo ability to it now that I'm like really thinking about it and seeing it. But I mean, combos ain't everything in a fighting game, right?
That's true. You know, you got like longtime legends like Justin Wong in the traditional fighting games, right? Where he's just like running away with Chun-Li and just pressing one button 50 times and then killing you with that the whole time, right? So that's definitely a viable strategy. I mean, a lot of people might be like, oh, he's not fighting and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, there's a timer, there's a life bar. That's all we got to play for. You know, that's definitely a viable strategy. So Sappy Seals, you know, with that defensive strategy, could take the dub here.
No doubt. One of the biggest things you could take away from whether or not it's the matches or from us ourselves, from our words of mouth, right? It's never over until it's over. You always got to remember that. And that is like the biggest factor in fighting games, all right? So
Absolutely.
be sure to keep that in mind here, especially when you decide to pick up Rec League. But in the meantime, hopefully we can queue up the next game. We got Wob going up against Klon, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so even after that, just to kind of refresh your guys' memory, we still have other other star shots to showcase as well. So that's been like the more popular mech thus far, at least in terms of like what's being shown on the bracket and what we have for our winners thus far. But in the meantime, this is the matchup that we were looking forward to. At least one of the star shots face off against the Spike Ball, at least.
Dude, it could possibly go into a star shot versus star shot finals, dude. So don't count them out yet. You know, like just having that ability to attack you from full screen is super beneficial in any kind of game. You know, it's just like being able to dish out damage while you're at a range where you're safe from taking any damage. You know, it's definitely very crucial. So I think Klon here using that spike slam could be, you know, saving up the energy for the spike slam just to be able to teleport in over your opponent, and it's also a jumping attack too. So great advancing tool, great approach tool.
That's cheap. Anything with a teleport, cheap, man. I'm telling you right now, man. That could be a little bit problematic.
Any fighting game.
Yeah, as long as you have like a defensive mechanism to kind of like guard all, like any high. Well, thankfully there's no real high lows in this game, and there's not necessarily any big left-right mix-ups. I think for the most part, having the coverage of a block shield is pretty beneficial to any sort of move. You just have to kind of time it. So majority of the mechanics in this game is primarily just like timing and punishing accordingly, right? And also having the mindset to kind of skill some of these skills or chain some of these skills together.
Right, exactly. The combos definitely do make a difference, but also it's all about the management too. But here we go. Game number 1 between Wob versus Klon.
And there is a little bit of a side switch as well, just to kind of let you guys know. Klon is on the left side with the spike ball mech. Wob is obviously on the right side with the star shot.
Wow. Bursting out of that. Converse off of the burst with the drone roll, but unfortunately it is a 2-hit move. Only the first hit connected.
I understand trying to go for the tractor beam immediately afterwards, but that range isn't that great, right? It's within medium to short range, but looking at it right now, Wob, he's been on the defensive end thus far, but it's Klon who's taking more of the damage. He's currently at the deficit. That slide kick to create the space. Yes, sir.
Dude, Wob's strategy is excellent here. Keep him full screen. And he also has the full screen ultimate too, but doesn't go into the full animation. Only gets the first hit off of it.
Oh, Tachyon beam. Are we gonna bully? Oh, there's an interruption.
For the third hit. Burst out.
Burst, no punish. Oh,
in
no.
The air, though. In the air, avoids it completely. And that's what I was talking about. Those airborne moves to avoid the unblockable ultimates.
And he was up there like 3 seconds prior to Klon actually initiating the ultimate. That was actually pretty huge on the side of Wob being able to make that read. But at the same time, it's like that could have been completely over. When he had the triple guillotine smack him on the third time, I think you could have been able to OTG it. If I'm not mistaken, I think Klon might have had a drone roll in his stack, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, drone roll to pick him up as well. Yeah, but then like that's the tricky part too. We saw him go for the OTG earlier. Only got 1 hit on the way out. Didn't get the second hit on the way back, so wasn't able to convert that into a full combo. So maybe he kind of like throwing away the idea of trying to pick him up with the drone roll there. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, that was a great airburst choice to jump over the ultimate. You know, that's one of the things that we're talking about. Those airborne moves to just kind of be out of the space for their ultimates to keep yourself safe could be crucial.
That's kind of cheap, dude. Airburst keeps you in the air for a long time.
Yeah, the triple shot, so it's like boom, 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 boom. So it's like you're in the air for the whole time, and then the full screen or the Zeta Fist that reaches like mid screen didn't hit anything there. It was just out of trouble.
No. Yeah, that's Zeta Fist is a little bit of the boomerang-esque, where he kind of like launches his fist towards you and he tries to like bring back the player or bring back the opponent. Yeah, if you get caught within that range, you will be seeing full animation. In comparison to Mother of All Beams, right? We saw Mother of All Beams come out from Sappy Seal's Star Shot.
Yeah.
Only the first part of it actually did damage, but I guess there's a certain range where if you connect with that hitbox, then it goes into full animation, I'm assuming?
I'm guessing the same thing too, because yeah, we definitely clearly saw that the first hit connected, but then it just didn't go into the full Mother of All Beam animation after that. So that could be a thing too. Even though it's a long range ultimate, it doesn't go into full animation from full screen. That's not too bad. But all right, here we go. Yeah, we're going into game number 2.
Oh, this is from the perspective of Wob, by the way. If you could take a look at the UI.
Blocking the triple overhead. The triple kick. Back to the air with the air burst. Burst out, though, keeping the pressure going.
Look at his hand. He has double Tachyon Beam and double Photon Beam. He can actually deal a ton of damage. That's actually mad cheap.
All the zoning. Make it rain.
Ballistic Hailstorm.
That's so cool. The triple guillotine, though, definitely doing a lot of work. It's a jumping, advancing, triple attack move. And a lot of the times, too, Wob has been letting go of the guard before the third hit. Drone roll, 2 hits, gets blocked. Back to the beams. Look at all the damage built up.
Oh, he shuffled in, too. No, yeah, he tried to use a move earlier, but the triple guillotine actually got
Burst
the big
out, send it
interruption.
back.
You can air burst again. Oh, punish on the way down. Guard break.
Oh, but doesn't you capitalize off of the guard break?
Oh, he got him, he got him, he got him.
Face. He can't do anything about this. I don't think
This
it's quite
should
dead.
be it, right? Is it gonna kill?
Oh, that is a good one. Just, I think you're gonna call
Do it back, mother of all beams!
Oh, no! And we
He got
the
it!
full animation this time. Is it enough? And it is. Wow. With this, Sappy Seal's Star Shot doing work here today. The strategy, the full screen zoning, and the perfect time to call out the ultimates as well. That was beautiful.
You had to see it coming, right? That's the one thing that you have to keep in mind of in a fighting game. What their options are on Wake Up is critical. It is a life or
Right.
death situation. If you know they have meter and it's an unblockable, you better find the counter quick, boy, because you're about to get smoked.
You better just be shuffling that and hope you have enough energy.
I'm mad shuffling. I am mad shuffling. Or here's the thing, right? You know, if he's like point blank, sure, it's a checkmate scenario. If you were backdashing all the way and you only get hit with the missile portion of Mother of All Beams,
Yeah.
would you have survived?
I think he would have, yeah. I think he definitely would have. So that could be definitely the strategy. But then it's like, also at the same time, it's just like you're going up against a Star Shot. They're hitting you from full screen. You're losing like 20-30% from each of these beams. So it's like, man, I got to stay up in his face to do any damage. So you don't want to really like give up that space that freely either. So it's a tough choice sometimes.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It's a tough choice too to kind of see like as good as some of these players have been performing, it's hard to actually make that choice as to who's actually gonna beat the other person. Take a look at the bracket, right? Klon, he had a pretty good start against Yacht, but fell pretty significantly short against Wob. And to be fair, it's hard, man. Like, I don't know how much practice these guys have had being able to pilot their mechs, but again, one of the things that you guys need to keep in mind is if the person has ultimate, you have to back away. You just have to.
Yeah, especially like some of the ultimates go full screen, but like we saw earlier in that set, game number 1, you know, the Mother of All Beams, only the first hit connected and it didn't go into the full animation. So maybe you could save yourself from potential like bigger damage from that way as well. And also you could take to the skies with like an aerial move such as Spike Slam that Spikeball did have in his arsenal, but maybe he didn't have it in his hand at that current time.
So it's not going to be the last time we actually see a Star Shot. Obviously, Wob solidifying himself into the grand finals. But coming up next is going to be Jonah versus Star-Lordy. You can see on the right side of your screen, right? Jonah, founder of R3W, and Star-Lordy, founder and CEO of Oniforce. These guys are going to be representing two different types of mechs. Obviously, Real Third Web Drillfist is going to be what the mech is for Jonah. On the other side, Oniforce Star Shot is going to be the choice for Star-Lordy.
We saw exactly how effective Star Shots can be, but stay tuned, guys. We'll go into that match right after a short little break with some more Rec League Founders Cup action. See you after soon. And we're back with Rec League's Founders Cup. We are down to the final 3 competitors here today. You guys are joining me, MYK, and my fellow commentator Vicious to hold it down for some of these exciting mech battles, man. And we're going into the next one right away. It's going to be Real Third Web's Drill Fist, represented by Jonah, going up against Star Lordy, representing Oni Force, another Star Shot. And Star Shots have been kind of popular today.
You know, if I were a betting man, which I am, I do agree with you. We kind of talked about this a little bit earlier off stream, that it might be a Star Shot Grand Finals. Who knows? But for the most part, it seems a lot of the players have not been fully acclimated against some of the arsenal that Star Shot represents with their current skill set. But with Drill Fist, I feel like there's a lot of damage that can come from a Drill Fist skill set. One of the big things that we were talking about is the combo ability that a Drill Fist has. We talked about Temper Tantrum being a thing that could really, really dampen someone's day by getting all of that damage. And also with the knockdown, it is an OTG, meaning you can get that juggle even if they are knocked down into something even bigger. We'll see if that potential or even possibility comes up during this set.
And you know what's interesting too about Real Third Web's Drill Fist is that it also has a warp kick. It was one of those teleporting jumping kicks to kind of mitigate that zoning presence on screen. So we'll see if that ever comes into play. Obviously the card has to show up in their hand, or maybe they could try to save it right before they shuffle it off. We'll see. Strategies are everywhere in this game, and that's the exciting part about any fighting game, right? Putting together your own strategies. And the other thing, the other layer that Rec League has is that you can customize your own mechs. All of these founders here today have came into this tournament with their own customized mechs, with their own skill sets. So we'll see how they utilize it here in this matchup.
Yeah, this is going to be super sick, right? Seeing how a lot of these players or a lot of the founders have put their mechs together is really, really an innovative thing. I think that's really, really cool to see, having this kind of freedom or expression. But anyway, here we go. Game number 1 between these two, Jonah and Star Lordy. We're looking at this from the Drill Fist side, if I'm not mistaken. As you can see, the Gone Portal and Meteor Fall on the bottom left.
Mm-hmm. And both of them using their burst, getting them off of them. The Falling Auger weren't able to capitalize off of it though. Back to the zone game. Yeah.
That was sick.
Dude, and having those advancing teleporting moves are always so crucial. The warp kick doing work. That's what I'm talking about. How are you gonna zone somebody that could just kick you in the back of the head with a warp kick?
Bruh.
Correct.
This guy's doing work. Like, Jonah is getting like better and better per game. Did you see how fast that was? He was taking out so much damage in like 3 seconds. That was what was that? He did Meteor Fall. How many Temper Tantrums did he have? And also the warp kick utilization. But more importantly, I think I also saw him juggle a Temper Tantrum linked into a Quake, right?
Right, yeah, and all those things, you know, that's what we're talking about with the skill synergy. You can kind of just mix and match a lot of these skills in any which way, especially when they have the luxury of being an OTG. And you know, Jonah having 3 OTGs on his mech is pretty good.
You got Temper Tantrum, you got the Quake, and also a special with Meteor Fall. Meteor Fall actually teleports you as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a teleport right above your head. It's like an overhead teleport. So it's just like, how are you supposed to zone a character like that? You have Warp Kick and Meteor Fall. So it's like, you can't shoot lasers from full screen. It's looking rough. This might be the answer, you know? You got to have a teleport to deal with these Star Shots.
There you go, man. Drill Fist might just be the answer for the zoning game that Star Shot represents. Now, Star Lordy still does have a lot of representation in the combo ability game as well. Like, we talked about him being one of these Star Shots to look at because he's got a lot of synergy with the skill set that he's put out, right?
Yeah, a lot of the attacks, even though he has a lot of full screen attacks, even the close range attacks as well, like Star Shot Spin, we saw how effective that could be earlier as well with the combo ability too. So you could link that into your lasers and then go for combos off of that as well. But it seems like the full range game isn't going to be really working out against Real Third Web's Drill Fist just because they have so many teleport attacks. So you can't really go for that zoning game. Kind of have to like try to play that up close, the brawler type game, just like the Drill Fist want to do.
Oh, I love that burst against the Temper Tantrum. We get to set ourselves up. Yeah, we also have Guard Break in there too. But no, Jonah actually is getting drilled down by Star Lordy. No pun intended, right? We got the Star Shot doing work.
Going in right now. Leapfrog, but dashes past this, so it doesn't actually get hit by it. The shield is up, but look at the damage. 40-50% already.
No punish! Oh, that could have been huge for the Starshot spin starter.
Uses the Quake, but the Leapfrog is out. It's still active. He bounces like 3 times into the advancing suppression, back to full screen. We're taking the buff. Buff is gone. Falling Auger, we're going in. Got the
Warp
stun.
kick!
Oh, Warp kick is actually one of the moves that doesn't OTG, so wasn't going to be able to extend the combo that way.
Oh,
Just out of range
punish!
for the Drill Fist. But we get the special Meteor Fall.
Oh,
The temper tantrum
my
walking
God.
out on him. Jonah in a dominant and the pop. He's doing the temper tantrum IRL. That was great.
Jonah, please. My man actually did no cooldown, no cost, temper tantrum. That was actions of disrespect. Yo, Star-Lord, Henry was like shaking his head. He was like, I can't believe I got stomped on. I cannot believe I got stomped on. Damn.
This is gonna be an interesting finals. Good stuff to all the competitors that made it this far and everybody else in the tournament as well. But Jonah is gonna be going into the finals. And you know, we saw that Drill Fist, how effective it could be up against a Starshot, and we're gonna see that same similar type of matchup against Sappy Seal Starshot. So I wonder how Sappy Seal is gonna have to switch up their strategy, because we saw Sappy Seal definitely a super defensive type of player, kind of just waiting in the corner with their shield up and trying not to, you know, lose their shield meter either, but also just balancing that perfectly between defense and offense.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the current mech situation between Starshot to Starshot, right? We're looking at Star-Lord. His actually had 2 different, like, get-off-me moves. He had, like, 2 different wall spikes and wall bounces, and he only has 2 knockdown type moves. But if you're looking at, like, Sappy Steel's mech and his current, like, his current build, he's got a lot of, like, knockdown scenarios, or at least knockbacks to establish himself immediately, or at least get like his long range game going again. So it's going to be really interesting seeing those 2 different dynamics play out. But if we can take a look at the bracket to see who our last 2 players are, just for those tuning in the chat, again, it's going to be Jonah going up against Wob.
Ooh, this is an interesting one. The same matchup again that we just saw, but with a different type of Starshot, a little bit different skills as well. Wob coming in with that super defensive style, going up against Jonah's rushdown style.
It's going to be very exciting. You guys don't want to miss it. This is going to be the conclusion of Founders Cup coming in just a little bit. When we come back to this break, we'll have the finale between Wob and Jonah right after this.
Woo. The final portion of the tournament here today. We are here for Rec League Founders Cup, and this is the grand finals. This is going to be a best of 5 match. The first one we've seen here all today. You're joining me, MYK, and I'm on the mic with me is Vicious.
Yo, we've been pretty excited to see how this would actually turn out. Neither of us actually called Sappy Seal's Star Shot going through to the finals. Now, the first bet, though, we actually saw as soon as we saw him take down match number 1, we were like, all right, so we were completely wrong about the skill set and the synergy. This character does a lot of damage, that is for sure. I was actually taking a look at the previous stats that we had earlier in regards to all of the showcases and whatnot. But at the same time, when we talk about damage, yo, Jonah's Drill Fist, I did not see that damage coming.
Once he gets in, dude, we saw that last game that he played. He did like a 50% combo. The light bar was red for like 4 or 5 seconds at a time. It's just, woof. And especially with like having those teleport skills, right? Warp kick and meteor fall, just being able to nullify the zoning, you know, it's just like that's such a key factor, especially up against a Star Shot type of character.
Yeah, no shot. Like, this is going to be one of those things where you actually have to, sorry, I had to say it. One of the things where you actually have to keep in mind what your skill set is in terms of like your movement. I think movement is going to be particularly dreadful against any sort of Star Shot. If you're able to interrupt and also get past the plethora of different like attacks that a Star Shot has, you have a fighting chance, right? And yeah. I think looking at what you can do against a Star Shot, being able to suppress them for a long period of time to prevent them from getting any of your attacks started is really key.
Right. Yeah. So that's gonna be the thing, man. You know, we saw Sappy Seal's Star Shot being super defensive and stuff, but I don't know if that's really gonna work out this time around. You know, Wobbs might gonna have to switch it up against Jonah here.
I would love to see it. I would genuinely love to see it. Again, when it comes to the grand finals between these two players, it's going to be best of 5. So 3 out of 5 is going to be a big determiner of who's actually the better player, in my opinion. So taking a look at that, Star Shot versus Drill Fist, we got it locked in. Wob representing Sappy Seals, hanging out with that Star Shot, versus Jonah representing Real Third Web, rocking the Drill Fist.
Yeah, this is going to be the interesting matchup. We just saw it earlier, right before this set. But, you know, we're going to have to see how Sappy Seals switches it up. I think Sappy Seals, from everybody here in the tournament here today, definitely had the most defensively sound strategy. But is that going to be enough against a teleporting Drill Fist? I got to see.
I'm about it. Hopefully we can get into the games as soon as possible, because I want to know what a Drill Fist can do against a Star Shot to this degree, right? Afterwards, I'm probably going to pick up Wobb's mech and be like, you know, maybe I was wrong. I'll give it another shot and hopefully get to play at least against MYK.
Yeah, we were both discussing it, and we were like, you know, out of all the mechs here today, I don't know about Sappy Seal's Star Shot, man. It just seems like none of the skills really like synergize together. You can't really get like, I don't know how the combos really work. It just seems like a heavy zoner. But it's really up to the pilot, right? Wobb's been playing a great defensive game, just playing that full screen game, really just kind of like regaining that space whenever he needs to with the slide kick too. So you never know. You never know.
Yeah,
and
no
also
doubt.
Just because the finals is a 3 out of 5, you have that extra game to kind of like make the adaptation.
I hope the founders know that it's also 3 out of 5, because you know what happens when we get the early pop off? We have something in the fighting game community called "What are you standing up for?" All right, that's something you don't want to do in a 3 out of 5 set, because that could just pretty much deflate all of your momentum and also really piss the other person off. So we'll see how it plays out. Jonah, a man of very few words and a lot of action. Let's see if the temper tantrum comes out in real life against Wob and the Sappy Seals.
Yeah, right off the bat, we're going with the war. We're into an early burst. We're going into that full screen zoning game. Falling Auger gets in and interrupts the skill as well. Gets the fake for Ghost G. Offensive burst into the Quake.
Damn, the Quake again.
Multi-drill, but he blocks it. Tries to punish with the beam, and he does.
Damn! Triple beam knocking him back. Jonah, this is not where not the place you want to be. Does get the guard break. We got the warp kick. Are we gonna get the slide kick follow-up?
Combo. Lost the slide kick. Tries to punish with temper tantrum. Backdashes out of it. That was sick.
Oh, Jonah, not like this.
Back to the zoning. Air burst. Stay out of here.
Falling Auger. The slide kick and rebuttal.
Slide kick to backdash. Oh, blocks the meteor fall. Wasn't sure of the punish though, but we have the ultimate. You're blocking in my base. What are you gonna do?
Mother.
Oh, bees.
Look at the damage. And yes, sir, gets to play the big zoning game again. Oh boy, the meteor coming in hot with a meteor fall. Jonah, he just needs one more sequence.
Also has a slow burn applied as well. This could be his chance. Jonah getting kind of zoned out right now with the lasers. Ooh, Ooh, and that's going to be that with the Star Shot Flurry. And so many projectiles that you got to worry about. You know, this is great to see. Sappy Seals, you know, I thought he was like a super defensive player, but he definitely opened up his offense in that game.
Yeah, I want to say that's because of Jonah allowing him to do so, right? As soon as Jonah backdashed and tried to play the footsies game, that just opened up all the potential for Wob and Sappy Seals to kind of get their offensive going, right? They don't have to be in your face to let the offense rock. They could literally just sit from full screen and just let the damage or let the range do all the damage for them.
Exactly. And I really love how they saved the ultimate for that crucial moment when they're up close. You know, it's like, okay, I'm not sure how to punish Meteor Fall, but you can't block this anyway. Take my ultimate, mother of all beams, right in his face too. That was an excellent choice.
Yeah, no doubt, right? If as soon as you are up close, that's like how we saw one of the other Star Shots take the W. Actually, no, that's exactly how Wob took his W to get him solidified in the grand finals, right? Waking up with Mother of all beams, that's got to be the most terrifying thing to wake up against.
Yeah, and it's also a long-range ultimate. You know, some of the, Jonah's ultimate is actually a short-range one, so he actually wants to be in your face. But Wob's Star Shot doesn't really make a big difference, man. You could kind of hit it from anywhere on the screen. But we did see earlier in the tournament, if you do hit like a super far-range one, it doesn't go into full animation, so you don't get the full damage off of it, but you still get them to kind of get off of you. So
yeah. But we'll see if Jonah has a different type of strategy, right? If he was listening to the broadcast right now, we will tell you right now that being up close will be the play if you are a Drill Fist main, right? You could sit there and block. You can get the punish against somebody. There's no throws in this game, not that we know of. The only technical way to kind of break through a guard is if you actually have a skill that says guard break or that has the property of guard breaking. If you have an unblockable, like an ultimate ready, those are the only two things that'll really break your guard, but there's counters around that as well. So if you're a Drill Fist, you have to make sure that all of your skills are going to be hitting.
right, exactly. And also too, that they're getting overly defensive. You know, you could kind of just wait till their guard gauge depletes, and then you could kind of open them up with a big combo. Because it's also visual to your opponent as well. But here we go. We're going into game number 2, grand finals, final set.
Got the Drill Fist on the left side. Oh, again, offensive burst. This is exactly what we like to see. The Quake to follow up afterwards. Guard break.
Guard break.
Huge.
Capitalize off of it though. Maybe he didn't have any more energy to spend.
Perhaps. Speaking of energy being spent, man, Wob was actually pretty aggressive thus far, but now, yeah, the slide kick backing up. He wants to play the long range game. You already know, attacking on beam.
I like it. Get the slide kick, get the knockdown, then start setting up shop with the projectiles. Oh, but the warp kick's gonna be the answer to deal with some of these projectiles. Warp kick into Meteor Fall.
This is sick. Yo, Jonah, he's coming back from the dead.
Air burst, keep him out. Just gotta keep him out. He's walking in with the tantrum. Slide kick, get back to zoning, but we're in the corner. Warp kick to interrupt the projectile. Smart choice.
We do have a special on deck for Wob, if I'm not mistaken, but it's going to be Meteor Fall coming in from Jonah, spending the meter early. Auger Fall afterwards. Oh, you could have done so much more. Wob actually had the kill. He had Ballistic Hailstorm ready for him too.
Okay, gets the laser.
Oh, you got to do it, ulti.
Into the ultimate.
Mother of all
In
lasers.
the face, Jonah with a little pop-up here. I hope he knows that this is a first to 3, best 3 out of 5, so he's still got one more.
I don't think he knows it. I'm not going to lie to you, MLK. I don't know if these guys are gamers, but I will say this. Wob taking it again with Mother of all beams. And again, that is going to be a name that you will have to get familiar with, because if you are not ready for it, it will take a chunk of your damage.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, just having a long range unblockable is so scary in this game. So it's like really how you apply the pressure first, so hopefully your opponent can't pop that on you in your face, especially in a situation like that.
Yeah, no doubt. So again, Wob already having a 2-0 lead against Jonah. How is Jonah going to make the comeback? Well, we're going to find out in just a little bit as he preps himself for the final, potentially final game. But Wob, he's been talking that smack, man. I saw that on Twitter. I saw it a little bit earlier. He made that tweet. He's like, if I meet you in the finals, I'm going to destroy you. Actually, I'm going to wreck you in all things, obviously, in theme of Rec League. Get wrecked.
Well, he's doing a great job here already, man. But Jonah, he had some crucial opportunities that he didn't capitalize on. I really like that guard burst, the guard break attack as well, but wasn't able to capitalize off of it. It is a 5 cost card, so it's a little expensive. Maybe he didn't have the energy to extend that combo there. So maybe we'll see a different strategy in this next game. It's going to be his final chance. going into it, because like if he saved maybe even like 3 extra energy points, he might have been able to get something afterwards, you know, like a multi-drill or something.
Yeah, I would have loved to see Jonah kind of reserve some of his meteor as well to kind of showcase his ultimate. I think a lot of the times we've seen Meteor Fall, it had done a lot of damage, being able to connect with an OTG, and also get a follow-up after that. But I think Gone Portal is going to be pretty good in terms of damage no matter what, and also being a unblockable. If you take advantage of that against Starshot, or at least against Wob, I should say, and take advantage of him trying to be defensive, there could be a huge momentum change in your favor, right?
Yeah. I think Jonah's definitely been going for a lot more of those teleports ideas, you know, like try to warp kick through the projectile, meteor forward through the projectiles. And I think that's why he's been favoring the special over the ultimate. But we'll see. Maybe he'll hold on for that little extra 50 meter just to save up for that ultimate unblockable.
Yeah, that'd be amazing, right? If we could see that happen, hopefully Jonah could do that, because from what we're hearing, Jonah's already kind of like, oh, I thought it was over. He's already packed up and ready to bounce. But Wob actually has just been hanging out. You know, Wob's already got himself locked in, trying to get that final W against Jonah. We'll see whether or not this actually is the momentum shifter with a Drill Fist. I would love to see it go down to like final game, final round in terms of like the full set.
Everybody loves those final hit moments, man. That's where all the hype happens. That's where all the magic happens. But yeah, Jonah not quite out of it yet. I like a lot of the ideas. Maybe the hands haven't been coming up in his favor. You know, he got the warp kick. He wasn't able to extend too much off of that. But maybe if he's able to find a full combo off of that warp kick, it could be the game changer.
Yeah, we need to see it. Hands. Let me see it. Come on now. Jonah
warp kick into multi-drill, you know, like link it up, you know? Start putting them together.
What's really cool is we start to see the potential too. I think Falling Augur could be a great way to whiff punish something from Jonah, or sorry, from Wob. But we do have the switch up yet again. Oh, the warp kick immediately trying to change sides. Yeah, Jonah's going to be on the one player side. Wob's going to be on the other side. Starshot versus Drill Fist, obviously.
Cool. Back to the zoning game. Life about even. Offensive burst. Try to combo into warp kick. Didn't quite get it. The follow-up hit.
Good block.
With the laser into air burst.
Excellent blocks thus far. Jonah, he's just going to be hanging out. System restore. We're going to get a little bit of that healing coming in.
Dude,
from the slow repair.
The lasers. They're all adding up. The warp kick isn't working out because he's not actually countering a projectile. He's just kind of hoping that it was.
Just hold it. He ran into it. No. Mother of all beams.
But just like that, Jonah almost has a full super as well, but uses it on a meteor strike, meteor fall.
He still has burst too. What was that?
Air burst out. He hit him with the air burst out of the warp kick airborne. That was sick. He tried to counter him with the warp kick, but since he was airborne with the projectile, he wasn't there. There was nobody home. Only a projectile.
That's actually pretty sick. That was actually kind of disgusting. The preemptive air burst to call out the warp kick against Jonah, that is big brain level. Now, I didn't know it would be like that. I didn't know it would be like that with the Starshot. Like, that actually was full control coming in from this mech design.
Yeah, no, that was excellently played by Wob. You know, with the Sappy Steel Starshot, you know, just the perfect showing of like what a solid defense could do in this fighting game of Rec League.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Just taking a look at how we've come this far in our bracket, it was actually a big surprise, right? We've taken a look at who the competitors were, taken a look at what the mechs were like and how they designed them. Obviously, big round of applause for all of the founders that have stepped up to compete against each other. We even had the founder and CEO of Enway fall a little bit short against some of these other founders, which lets you know, man, there's a lot of potential in terms of the design of a lot of these mechs and also the potential of how they can be piloted, too. So it's been a really, really fun way to showcase their creativity, but alone, not just the creativity alone, but some of their skills as gamers as well, right?
Absolutely. You know, something I always say too, it's the natural gamer genes, right? It's like you pick up your game for the first time and it's just like something just clicks, and that's exactly what we saw out of Wob today. The founder of Sappy Seals with that fine-tuned defensive and offensive play. He always flipped it at the perfect time, and I liked a lot of the counters that he had for Jonah's Drill Fist at the end there. Well played.
Yes. No doubt. So Wob is going to be our champion for the very first Founders Cup tournament for Rec League, showing the official debut of the competitive aspect, the esports side of Rec League. In fact, we might even get ourselves an interview with our champion, but as we set that up, be sure to come back because after this break, we'll have our 2-on-1 with our champion Wob right after this short break. Stay tuned. back to our post discussion of Founders Cup for Rec League. Vicious here, back at it again with MYK. Obviously, we have our winner. It's Wob, representing Sappy Seals Star Shot with that mech. I gotta say, that was really, really impressive. Wob, before we get into it, hey, can you hear us? Probably not, brother. Probably not.
I don't think I can hear them.
Get this squared up right underway. We have Wob here, the champ. As soon as we could hear him, we could ask him some questions.
Yeah, I want to actually
there
just
we
see
go.
if we could bring him into the Discord call. I think that would be great if we could just pull him in instead of having him kind of just like hang out on vMix. So let me see if we can kind of work that magic so Wob can hear us correctly and also just directly at the same time. If we could pull Wob into the Discord call, that would be fantastic. But for the most part, if he can hear us, I would love to know if he can give us a thumbs up as well.
All right.
All right.
The confirmation.
We got progress. We got a little bit of progress. All right, Wob is actually in the call now. I'm pretty sure he could hear us in real time, but he is muted.
I can
just
hear
in
you.
case. Let's go. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
there we go.
Let's go.
I
The champ
I
is
can
here.
hear an echo though, which is a bit of a problem, but I'm trying to get through it.
We'll be okay with the echo, I think, because we want to hear your voice primarily. Now, Wob, going into it, actually, so I have a problem with like decision paralysis sometimes, and there's a lot of options to explore when it comes to building the mech. What was your mindset building your Sappy Seal Star Shot?
So I actually got given a deck, and I just played it. And it was, I don't know, I think, so I usually in fighting games, I usually play like more aggro decks, but this one was like full defense, so it's totally like it's separate from what I'm used to. And yeah, I just feel like having so many range moves is so powerful because once they're at distance, you can poke their shield like twice, and then if you have a third one, you can just hit again, and you're guaranteed to get hit through. So I just kept shuffling my deck and trying to like get all the melee moves out and just keep having range, but then mixing up with melee.
No, that was a great choice, and I especially loved your use of air burst too, just taking it to the sky and the triple shot just to avoid a lot of trouble too.
Yeah, you have to consider that like air burst is basically a dodge at the same time, right? And so you can dodge people's ults and stuff as long as you're paying attention. So like, yeah, if I have that in my hand, I usually use that as more defensive because it doesn't combo too well with a lot of other things.
Now, something also tells me you've had a lot of time of being able to play against some of your colleagues in the office. Tell me a little bit about the confidence that came from your tweet initially where you were saying, if we meet up in the grand finals, I'm going to absolutely stomp you. Now, it's not verbatim, but I feel like the energy is pretty accurate, one-to-one.
It was pretty accurate, yeah. So I used to compete in fighting games, not these 2D fighters, but in like platform fighters. So like the sort of Smash style games. I used to play Brawlhalla and got in pretty well. I did pretty well in some championships and stuff. So and obviously my team as well. They're from that industry, and so I had like before I came in, I had like a 30-minute session with my team, and we played through and figured out like the strat, which is yeah, pretty fun.
That's sick. Yeah, we definitely saw the fundamentals coming into play. You seem like you're the most defensively sound player here today, so I was super impressed to see you flipping between offense and defense on the fly like that. That was great.
Yeah, you got to bait people. I think with the range deck, everyone's expecting you to play defensive and back on your side, but you have to mix it up and sometimes go a bit aggro. They either shield or they're like, what the fuck is he doing? And then you slide kick them.
Yeah, that's where we got bodied, actually. Like, me and MYK, we were going through all the mechs and all the different possibilities. When we saw yours, we were like, damn, this guy's going to be poking, like, majority of the time. Like, what happens if he gets rushed down? Then we forgot, you know, Mother of all beams being unblockable, every ultimate being unblockable. I'm like, dude, if somebody's trying to, like, lock you down and, like, rush you down, if you wake up with that, they're screwed, right?
Yeah, what are they going to do?
Yeah, one cool thing that you can actually do is if you run out of energy, you can use your supers as a way to like buy yourself time because they don't cost energy. And so whenever I was like running out of resources to kind of defend myself, I just throw out super.
That was great. Yeah, those are great strategies. Absolutely. Especially that one awkward Mother of all beings at one time where only like the first hit and he didn't go into the actual beam part.
That was really confusing. I thought I'd won. I was celebrating in the camera. I was like, yeah, look, I won, guys. And then I looked, I was like, oh, fuck, who's going to win? Yeah.
Well, I think the other guy was like, "Oh, I got hit. I'm screwed too." So to be fair, we didn't know the animation was gonna kick in from like full screen. So that was really interesting. But man, hey, when do we actually get to play? I think that was one of the bigger questions that chat was asking. We had mentioned, September 14th for some of the founders as well. But when is it open in terms of free to play for everybody else? I don't know if that question went through or not. Okay,
So, what did you say? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was asking if you happen to know what the release date is for Rec League.
I'm actually not sure. Isn't it relatively soon, right?
It should be around like 5 days for like the Founders Cup, or at least for the Founders. For the Founders mainly. But I don't know if there was like a solidified like date for the free to play aspect of it, if I'm not mistaken. But I might have.
The earliest we got was
I'm not
like
sure.
early next year, so I think we're probably looking for early next year for free to play
Oh,
for
okay.
everybody as well. Yeah.
See, I was under the impression that he was like directly like in the office and like had like the sheet up, but that was my bad. But either way, Wob, hey, again, big ups to you for showcasing a
you.
really potentially
Well played.
sound Star Shot. That's actually pretty sick. I might be stealing your build. So again, big congrats to you, man.
Thank you. I heard you guys fighting my deck. And I was like, fuck, I have to win now.
No, that was very well played, man. Good stuff once again to the champ. Wow.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Take it easy, man. And there you have it, man. The big upset coming in from Sappy Seal Star Shot, but it's not really an upset, was it? Because it was actually a dominant performance all the way through. Very, very impressive. But that just goes to show you, man, you can't judge a mech by its skill set, right?
Yeah, you definitely can't just say like, oh man, I don't think a lot of their synergy works out with a lot of their skills back to back. But he had a strategy going in, using the air burst to use it as a dodge as well. You heard it from him too. Just jump out of an ultimate and stuff. That was a key, and using the ultimate to his advantage as well. Full screen ultimate, unblockable, and he always got it to hit. So, great stuff to Wob. I loved his play style throughout today. And yeah, that's just a little bit of what could be possible here at Rec League. It's going to be out in just about 5 days for the founders, and then early next year for PC, mobile, and Mac users as well. So everybody can join in on the fun.
No doubt, no doubt. Big ups to everybody involved, right? Enway putting it down for another fighting game. Really, really cool. And for all the partners that are involved, right? We had the Gods, we had Sappy Seals. Big shout outs to Animoca Brands being a huge part of Rec League as well.
Absolutely.
We had Cool Cats come in from Klon as well. Obviously on the other side, Jonah, part of Real Third Web, Spencer, part of Yuga Labs, TK, founder and CEO of Enway, and of course, Star Lordy, aka Henry, throwing it down for Oni for us. All of us, to you guys, we appreciate you guys tuning in to our very, very first Founders Cup. And again, all of the partners, including Community Gaming, for throwing it down for the production side. It's been an absolute blast. Any final thoughts, MYK, before we go?
I can't wait to see where this game evolves from this point on. When the strategies get fleshed out and a lot more, offense and defense gets figured out, this game might go crazy. But yeah, I had a lot of fun being here. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I can't wait for the next time.
No doubt. It's been absolutely fun. If you guys want to hit us up for even more Rec League action, actually go to @RecLeagueHQ over on Twitter. And if you guys want to hit us up and let us know what your mechs are going to be like, hit us up at the name is MYK, as well as @ViciousFGC. We're out of here, guys. We'll see you all for the next one, hopefully. Have a great time with Rec League. See you soon.
Boom.